Brain Injury Alliance works with thousands of Arizonans who suffer from brain injury. Here to tell us how they are helping those with brain injury is Will Grove. And Will, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Let's talk about the Brain Alliance and what you guys help with, because brain injuries are in different ways. It could be from someone falling, it could be someone in a car accident, some tragedy could happen to them. So there's a lot that you work with, don't you?
Oh yeah, and there's so many different types of brain injury, even outside of the traditional TBIs that we hear about. So strokes, brain tumors, really anything that injures your brain post-birth. We're actually the only nonprofit that works throughout the state with survivors of any of those types of injury, as well as their family members, caregivers, really helping them get connected with whatever resources and information they might need.
And that's very important right there. You said the resources that you guys come in, because there's a lot that is out there, but people might not know, especially trying to do a brain injury, because we know about cancer, we know about, of course, heart attacks, we know about, diabetes and everything, but when it comes to a brain injury, especially if you said just the different ones that are there, it's hard to find some help.
Oh yeah, and because it's so varied, there's no one formula that you're going to follow where everyone has a brain injury does this, this, and this. Someone's adventure, someone's journey with brain injury can be so different depending on what's going on, and that's why we draw from a massive pool of different resources that we vet ourselves so we can help people to go along that journey with something that's very customized for them.
Yeah, we have some video here of course, what you do with some of the patients and some of the people you work with. But art is one of the big things that you guys like to really work with, don't you?
Yeah, we have a few really exciting things that we're doing with art. It's such an amazing, enjoyable, and therapeutic process. We have been doing our unmasking program for close to 4 years at this point, where we're inviting survivors, family members to come in and basically create a mask that is expressing the uniqueness of their story. And then we're actually able to take these masks, of which we have now about 400, and we're displaying them throughout the state. We're actually going to do a display pretty soon in the lobby of City Hall here in Phoenix. So we're very excited about that, being able to get all these stories together and share them with people.
Yeah, also you guys have supplies there, and you also teach people about certain things that you guide them through, which is so important. One, we also know you have the Butter Fund, which is really cool, that you guys really help families out in that way.
Yeah, the Butters Fund, it's a really cool initiative that we've had going for a while. It's a donation-based fund that helps people who are brain injury survivors, who have a pet that they view as an emotional support. We can help with covering vet bills, we can help with covering even kind of emergency issues regarding their pets. It's a really cool story. It actually came from an Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher who himself sustained a brain injury and was really struggling to respond to any treatment until someone brought in Butters, who is their little dog, who's the one that we see on all our pamphlets. Butters hops up on the bed, he starts responding, and that's where that fund actually came from.
That's amazing. We were talking before we came on about the Gabby Giffords documentary and her brain injury, which was, again, a very tragic one, but her comeback on that was amazing. And that is something that the Brain Injury Alliance is about. It's about helping people get those comebacks, getting so much of their life back, which is so important.
Yeah, a lot of times if someone's experiencing a brain injury, that's often a very dark day. I mean, that certainly is a great example of one. But that process, it can be lengthy, it requires a lot of support, and there's a lot of hope when you're able to connect someone with the resources, connect people with a support system, that they can continue their recovery for years even. Yeah. And you can see the progress that Gabby has made, where she was, I think early on, people weren't sure she was going to survive.
Yeah.
And now she's really thriving relative to where she started with. Yeah. So it's exciting to see that highlighted in this documentary.
It is. And I have to bring up a movie that you probably hear about a lot, and that's 50 Dates, which with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. But that is such a touching one there. And that's kind of like what I can say about the Brain Injury Alliance. It's about helping people help their loved one who is going through that and giving them, of course, the resources you said. And I think that's what's important about the Alliance.
Yeah, and what I love about that movie, I thought you were going to say Concussion, to be honest.
The guy going 50 Dates, you're like, what, Brad?
But what I love about that one is it does focus on how important it is to have loved ones who support you. A big aspect of our work is working with the families of survivors, because surviving and living after brain injury can't be a solo journey. So if we're going to work with survivors and help them to live fully post-injury, it's very important that we're also supporting their support system. system. So we even have some of our own programs, including a support group that's specifically dedicated to those family members, to that support system.
You also are well connected, knowing what's going on out there, especially when it comes to drug pricing. And you guys are, of course, getting information on the Senate bill that they're trying to pass to help it a little bit.
Yeah, so public policy is a big part of what we do because we want to promote policies that can help Arizona and America be a great place for people to live post-injury. And as you can imagine, a lot of our survivors have to rely on often innovative medications that they will take for years, if not their entire lives. So yeah, this week they're looking at some different provisions in the reconciliation process in the Senate that are addressing drug pricing. And we just want to be sure that our legislators are promoting policies that can address medication affordability, but can also continue to allow us to have innovative drugs coming to market, as we certainly rely on a lot of innovation for our survivors.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Will, this is great that you're here giving us all this input, and we want to make sure we continue giving that. So where can people find out more about the Brain Injury Alliance?
Lots of different avenues to find us. Certainly online, our website is biaaz.org. You can call us 602-508-8024, but also social media. We're available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So yeah, if you can find us, we're out there.
Perfect. Thanks, Will, for joining us this morning. So.
Thank you.